Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Today is March 31st, 2022, foul year of our Lord, and my birthday. Yay! No, that's not the right one. Let's try the cash register. Yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today. We've got a terrific show for you. We're going to be talking about the current price action of Bitcoin as we are currently breaking down from the range. So we are coming live to you with a little bit of a liquidation live alert process. So we'll try to pull up the right gifts and funnies for that. We're also going to go over my plans for rotating out of altcoins and kind of taking advantage of this market maneuver over the next few days, what I'm going to be expecting coming into the market on Monday, and the volatility that I expect to see over the weekend. We'll also be looking at your chart requests and going over a few key concepts to keep yourself safe and profitable in the cryptocurrency trading space. So we've got a great show. It's going to be an awesome day. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from and however you happen to be watching us. We are streaming on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Trovo, Twitter, Facebook. It never ends. Just keeps growing. Oh, dear Lord. Good to see you guys in the chat. We've got B-Flow. We've got Alex81, Chris Hinshaw, Chili Lime. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. And there's absolutely no way I can pronounce that. But welcome to the stream. Wherever you guys are watching, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Twitch, give us a thumbs up, follow, give us a sub. It really helps support the channel. Check out the links in the description down below for anything you guys could need. If you guys want to improve your trading, make sure to check out the website, krakencryptocurrency.com. Make sure to join us in the free Discord. With all of that stuff out of the way, let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know what positions you have put on in response to this recent market maneuver, what your thinking is on this market right now. What kind of altcoins are you guys looking at? What are the big plays right now that you guys are seeing in Cosmos or in the general blockchain space? How are you guys rotating? And overall, tell me what struggles you guys are having or what victories you guys are having. Whether with your own strategy or with the indicators, if you guys are using some of our free indicators, which you can access on TradingView, links in the description down below. If you guys are premium members, if you're using some of the premium indicators, let me know how you guys are doing along with those. We're going to be making a lot of new updates to those moving forward. Sweet Canary, I see you too. Don't think I don't. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's hop in. Let's start analyzing the charts as we do best. Over to the big chart. All right, here we go. So as we're going to do, we normally do top-down analysis. Nothing's going to be different today. It's all going to be top-down analysis. All right, so let's just zoom in the current monthly candle of Bitcoin. The beautiful month of March is looking like it's going to close relatively weakly. Now, we didn't get any big, huge candle body move this month. We did. If we look at the weekly, we can just see, all we can really see here is the fact that Bitcoin established this support level, this one tap support level back in the summer of 2021 when we experienced that 50% decline. We are right back down at that support level again, and we've had a nice monthly bounce of price appreciation to the upside. We haven't entered a full markup phase. We are still in this broader range between 30 to 60, which seems like a wide range, and of course it does on the weekly or the daily. But if we look at it here on the monthly, we can just see that Bitcoin is in this long period of range. And this is interesting because Bitcoin really hasn't ever done this before at a cycle high. So for example, if we go back to the cycle high of 2013, we can see that it was just pretty much on to the downside. No serious levels of support. If we go back to the big crypto run where a lot of you guys came with us in 2017 through 2018, we can see that again, when we reached that cycle high, we just pretty much went down. The only time that it really looked different, and even not, this isn't even really close because this wasn't a cycle high. 2019, when we pumped off the bottoms in the early months of 2019, we consolidated a little bit, but overall the tilt was to the downside. We can see the last time transformation buy signal that we got telling us to go all in on Bitcoin was, of course, back in 2019, the most optimum time to enter over the last few years. But hey, we're here, not then, right? We're here, not then. We got to make the most of what we got, right? When you're on an adventure, you have to use what you have. If I've learned anything from children's movies, one of my favorite new ones is Onward. And when you're on an adventure, you have to use what you have, guys. So Crypto Bull 21 bought last night. So that's why the market's going down. Come on, Crypto Bull. You got to let us know these things, man. You got to keep us alerted. You got to let us know, man. You got to do the counter trend indicator. When Crypto Bull buys, we have to sell, right? That's the way it works. Hell, Don Cannon's been counter trading me for like 4 years. Dude's the last time I checked, his portfolio was like 12,000. Doing good. Shout outs to Don Camden if you're out there, man. Fetty, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes, my friend. Highly appreciated. And hey, this is this is what you do. Am I out? Am I out schmoozing at the bars? No, I'm in here putting in the work. That's what it's about, guys. It's about putting in the work. I will be skiing this weekend, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. Monthly bounce off this level of support, but I just want to take a close look again at this monthly candle, right? Not a whole lot going on here. Not the kind of big volume or volatility, just really nothing indicative of a big move. So there's really nothing to say about the current monthly candle. It's possible that we do continue this bounce up just from this chart perspective. When we get down to the weekly, we'll happy 21st. Yeah, I fucking wish. I wish, man. I wish. Let's see here. But just based off of this alone, if we take a look at our indicators here, we can see the time transformation had signaled for us to sell on this macro scale back in May of 2021. Of course, that would have precluded us from this pump just following the monthly chart, of course. But then again, overall, nothing too indicative. The only thing that I do want to point out here that is important as far as our indicators go is if we look at what time transformation is doing here, it is attempting to has crossed under, the zero line. Now, if we go back in time and we look at when Bitcoin has done that before, we can see that it occurs here. Okay, so this is after 2017. We get that monthly cross under here in about June of 2018. That did lead to the next 50% decline of that market cycle. If we go back over here again to 2019, we can see that Bitcoin does cross underneath the zero line right here. It coils there for a little bit, but then we have another 50% decline right there. 24.70% on closing basis, but on the week to week or daily there, that was the March meltdown when BitMEX, the liquidation engine, just went completely insane and killed the entire market. Price crashed all the way down to about 3,902. So potentially hinting that we are going to get, again, as we've been talking about on the weekly, another 50% decline here in the cryptocurrency markets. It's impossible to predict whether that's going to happen. These things can turn around anytime they want. So anybody who's going to sit here and tell you that they know exactly where the market's going to go is a fool or trying to sell you something. So be careful about that, guys. You have to trade the chart in front of you. All we have is the price data. That's all we have. All we have is the price data. The indicators are built off of the price data. And our job as traders is to develop a strategy that has an edge in the market. And the way you can do that is by looking at how a strategy would have performed historically and then running that forward in the future and then scaling that up the more proficient that you get. Let's see here. Mr. D, thank you so much. Chris Henshaw, I appreciate it. Every birthday is just an anniversary of your 21st. B-Flow, happy birthday. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. What kind of skiing? So we're gonna go up to one of the mountains here in Colorado. It's actually my first time skiing, so hopefully I don't die. But my girlfriend and her son are very good skiers. Taking my 4-year-old daughter along. We've got ski lessons for her. We just got it all booked and finalized today. We were thinking that we were going to go up to Keystone, but we're not going to go to Keystone. We are going to go up to a slightly different mountain. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, guys. So I want to put on some good positions that I can hold while I'm gone away from the keyboard. And then we'll be back in the office on Monday, cranking it out. Just shaking and baking. All right. Now, the one thing I do want to look at here, the monthly exponential moving averages, we do see that Bitcoin did bounce off the monthly 21. Let's get this a little bit bigger here. Bitcoin did bounce off the monthly 21 exponential moving average here. We didn't really quite touch it on that previous decline in last summer, but we see kind of the same pattern here with the 21 that we also see in the weekly structure that we've been talking about for quite some time here, ladies and gentlemen. And that is going to be when Bitcoin does correct down to the monthly 21, it ultimately always does correct down to the monthly 55. We can see here Bitcoin correcting down to the monthly 21, ultimately correcting down to the monthly 55. Here we see Bitcoin correcting down to the monthly 21, and I would estimate ultimately correcting down to the monthly 55, right? I don't want to be a bear. I'm just saying this is how things have happened in the past. It doesn't mean it's going to happen again that way, but that's all we have to go off of. All right, so not too much here from the monthly. Positive close, but really we haven't made a monthly close above our biggest bearish candle. And if we just look at how much time it's taking to push back up relative to how much time it took to push down, not this massive super sign of strength that we really want to see if the bulls are going to be super successful here. So we're not in a markup phase. You guys know I lean toward the Wyckoff methodology or lean toward Wyckoff ideas of market, which is, there's really no such thing as bullish or bearish. Those are kind of, like we do say bullish and bearish, but the problem is with bullish and bearish is those are really emotional words, right? If I sit here or someone sits here and tells you, hey, Bitcoin's bullish, baby, let's go. That's very emotional. It's a very emotionally charged, driven kind of thing, right? And it makes you want to do things. And as traders, one of our biggest challenges is distancing our emotions from our analysis so that we're not acting off of emotion, which just opens the portals to so many poor ways that you can trade. But I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, emotionally charged words make you make emotional decisions, and that is not what you want to do as traders. You want to distance your emotions from your analysis so that you're executing based off of data, so that you're executing based off of strategy, so that you're executing based off something that makes sense rather than, oh, I think the market's bullish right now, let's go. That's not what you want. That's not what you want to do. So in Wyckoff methodology, we replace the terms bullish with markup, right? It's not bullish. It's just that the market is marking up. Prices are moving up. The ask is being hit. There is sufficient there is sufficient demand in the market that buyers are willing to buy at increasingly higher prices, and sellers, because they see the strength of the ask being hit, they see the strength of the demand rising, of the buying pressure that's building up, are continually willing to sell at higher and higher prices until you reach some point where that is no longer the case and the market turns around and moves sideways, which overall the market's pretty much been moving sideways on this on this macro time scale for the last, almost a year now, guys. We peaked in April 2021, and here we are, April 2021 to 2022 tomorrow. Right. It's not bullish. I can't say that on YouTube, but you got me right there, brother. So the opposite of mark up is mark down, right? When the market is going to depreciate, when supply overtakes demand, where buyers are willing to buy at lower and lower prices, and more importantly, sellers are willing to sell at lower and lower prices, right? So mark up, mark down, and then there's more to it, but we'll just keep it there nice and simple. Okay, so overall takeaways from the monthly: bounce off the monthly 21 exponential moving average. We do have that downside target, $25,000 down here. At the monthly 55 incoming, and overall not a whole lot of strength, not really what we want to see for a super big bounce. Nothing coming in from our indicators of note except for the fact that time transformation is doing that centered oscillator cross, meaning that we are in kind of a markdown area. It's indicating that the market does want to move into markdown area. And if we take a look at Minx here, all we can really see is that we've been overbought and prices is attempting to return there. We don't really have any expanding volatility from Wadatar explosion, nor this huge, no rising negative delta here. So really no signals coming there. We could take a look at a couple other indicators here. These are our free indicators. So the Ichimoku indicator that I have available on TradingView, we are just, again, consolidating at that support of the Tenkan and the Kijun here, but we don't really have what we'd want to see here. All right, so let's go down to the weekly, guys. The weekly is a little bit more informative here. Okay, let's start off with our exponential moving averages. Again, last week we did close above the 21 weekly exponential moving average. And if we look down on the daily, we'll see some similarities here as well, but let's just keep it simple here. So if we do retrace here, I lost my drawing tool. It's somewhere around here. There we go. If we do retrace here, possible support here at the weekly 55 exponential moving average. This has been resistance, right? So we can see the 55 weekly has been resistance. We were finally able to break. So nice classical principle here would be waiting for the retrace to move higher. And overall, that's the mind that I'm at, especially let's look here at another concept that we've been talking about a lot, which is when Bitcoin corrects after a cycle high. What do? Guys? We correct down to the weekly 55. We bounce, we correct down to the weekly 100, we bounce, and then ultimately we correct down to the weekly 200 simple moving average. It's happened over and over and over again. Here we have it back in 2017. Reach a cycle high, correct down to the 55, bounce, correct down to the 100, bounce, ultimately correct down to the weekly 200 simple moving average. Actually, I feel like that is the EMA. Just a second. Simple moving average. Sorry. There we go. And yeah, we see it again here in 2019, boom, boom, boom. And here it's playing out in 2022, 2021. So nothing different here. As the good book says, nothing new under the sun. Someone sneezed on the cash out button. Let's see here. Phantom trying to buck the sell-off. Yeah, I mean, we'll look at that here in a little bit, the current price movement. It's totally fine. We'll get to this in a little bit of a second, but if you guys want to wait for the retrace on these shorts, so I just posted some shorts to the premium members, and I took some, obviously, so that means I'm taking some shorts. I just established some shorts this morning. If you guys want to wait for price to retrace after a breakdown like this, that's totally fine. You have to look at this thing called expected value, right? You have to multiply what your potential profit, this is a way to look at it, multiply your potential profit. So let's just say, for example, right, like, let's say for any trade you're looking at, right? Let's say you've got something like this. I'll actually pull my normal drawing tool out here. Let's say price is trading in a range. I know these aren't straight lines, but let's just say here. So price is trading in a range, okay? And then all of a sudden you see a breakout candle that's got a lot of volume and it doesn't have a lot of wick, right? Pretty much a full body candle. This is great. This is what we want to see for a breakout. Okay, so let's say you analyze and you're going to establish your stop loss right around here and you got to take profit up here, okay? So you can measure if price is right here, if this is your entry, you can measure your entry times your position size and the distance to your take profit. And you have to figure out like what the probability of that happening is, okay? So if you've got a trading strategy, you have this number because you've done your back testing, right? So let's say your trading strategy is right 65% of the time on breakouts, okay? Great. You've done your back testing, you know your numbers, you need to know these things. All right, so you can take your expected profit, okay, times the probability that you're going to get that profit. In this case, you just move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So let's say this distance is 10%. Okay, from your entry right here at market entry, you're going to market enter on a breakout, and your take profit is 10% away. And you're going to use $1,000 position size. Okay, you're trading with $1,000. Your position size is going to be $1,000. All right, so your expected profit is going to be $100. That's 10% of 1,000, right? You could minus fees out of that, but we'll just keep it simple. So you take $100 times 0.65. If I exit, so if I pull up my calculator, I'm going to lose my drawings here. So bear with me. So you're going to get a number X. Maybe somebody in the chat can let me know. I know it's like it's either 6.5. It's like 0.65 or not 0.65. But that's going to be your EV, your expected value, right? That's the probability that you're going to win times your expected profit. Okay. So let's say you also, hey, Christian Zeladon, good to see you. Thoughts on Litecoin versus Bitcoin? Litecoin's kind of dead, man. You know, like, do you remember when Charlie was like the king of the crypto space, like back in 2017, 2018, and he sold all his Litecoin at the top and everybody hated him, and Litecoin really just hasn't come back. Now, obviously there's development and everything happening on there, but you know, it's not what it used to be. You know, I don't see people getting excited about Litecoin, but we'll go take a look at the chart here for sure. Okay, so you've got your expected value on that position. Let's get my thing here. Now, let's say you also develop a strategy that on a breakout, you wait for a pullback, okay? So let's say your pullback entry is going to be here, and then you can measure this distance. Now, let's say it's 15%, and you've done the math on what your probability of winning here is, right? So let's say on breakouts, if you wait for a pullback, you miss some, but obviously your risk to reward ratio is better because your stop loss can remain the same. That's actually going to mean a larger position size, because if your stop loss remains the same, then your position size is going to get larger. If you're closer to your stop loss, you take a larger position. And if you're farther away from your stop loss, you have to take a smaller position size. That's how you stay within your risk limits. So but let's just say you're right 50% of the time on your pullback strategy, right? Because you're going to miss some, but because you're using a larger position size, let's say here. So let's say let's say now the distance here is 15%. So you're going to use, let's see, if you're 5% closer to your stop loss, you're going to use a position size that is larger. So let's just say your position size is now 1,500. It's probably going to be a lot bigger than that actually, but let's just say it's 1,500. So you take your 1,500 position size times 15%. Okay. So that's 150. What is that? About $200. So now you've got 200, you multiply that by your probability of winning 50%. And whatever the higher number is the strategy that you should repeat, right? Whatever strategy has the higher expected value is the strategy that in the long run will produce more profit. So it just depends. If your breakout market entry strategy, it has a higher percentile, it's possible that it'll have a higher IV. Keep in mind, you're going to have a smaller position size and a smaller expected profit. I know this is starting to look like a crazy chart. I apologize for all the drawings. Hopefully you guys are following along. And if your position size is larger and the distance to your take profit is larger, and your probability of hitting that is a little bit smaller, it still could be the case, often the case, that this pullback strategy is the more profitable. And so that's something I should probably clip that. That's a good one. Go back and rewatch that a few times. Maybe I'll make a video about that, but that's the basic concept. So there's nothing wrong with waiting for pullbacks. It just helps if you know the probability that you're going to win. And that number, the probability comes from doing your back testing. It's the only way you can get that number. You have to do your back testing on the strategy. All right. You are welcome, Loot Patient. Thank you, man, for joining the stream. Okay, so here we are on the weekly time frame, and again, the most significant thing here, I think, to talk about is just where we are in the cycle, where we are in the market narrative, and the market narrative, I think, is lower prices. Okay, unfortunately, in the big scale, right? Now we talked about this, right? Correction out of the 55 bounce, correction out of the 100 bounce. I don't think this is the bounce. I don't think this is it. It's entirely possible this is it, right? That the longs have been suckered in. That enough people got really bullish, that they pumped the altcoin market, that everybody's trapped here. I am of the mind that we're going to see 52.59. That seems to make the most sense to me. Before, get traders trapped up here and then send it down to 25, 23. I really think that's the more likely scenario here. So in that case, what I'd kind of like to see is this pullback, hold the 55, and then we push up and grab liquidity in the $52,000-$59,000 area. That's where I'm at with this. That's what I think is going to happen. But again, you guys just got it. You can't come to the markets and say, all right, well, listen, because this happened in the past, just like this, that means it's going to play out the exact same way. That's not the right way to think about trading, guys. The right way to think about trading is in terms of probability. The right way to think about trading is in terms of risk. And the right way to think about trading is in protecting yourself from the worst possible scenario. That's what you have to do. We all make, we do our best to make money in this market. And even though I'm relatively good at it, the most humbling thing you can do, the most successful thing you can do as a trader, step one, is admit that you're never going to know exactly what's going to happen. And once you lose that fear, you'll lose a lot of your analysis paralysis. You'll be able to manage your risk and focus on risk management and just focus on making good trades based upon a strategy that has a high win rate or a probability of success. Stop trying to predict the markets and just have an idea of if this, then that, right? So let's talk about that in terms of if this, then that. If market pulls back to the 55 weekly exponential moving average, and on the daily, we get some buy signals, maybe from time transformation. Maybe you're looking at the RSI. Maybe you're looking at the MACD. I don't look at shit like that. I look at time transformation. I look at Minx. I look at Water Explosion. I look at EMAs. I look at the baseline. I look at Ichimoku once in a while. That's what I look at. So from those indicators, we have certain buy signals, right? We have certain signals that have a probability of success because we've tested them over and over again. When time transformation of Minx cross above the zero line, price tends to keep moving up. When time transformation and Minx cross below the zero line, price tends to keep going down. When time transformation or Minx cross over near oversold or overbought territories, the market tends to turn around. All right. So these are signals we can all watch for. All right. So market corrects down to the weekly 55. On the daily, we see a crossover near oversold territory. That's going to look like a strong bottom buy to me. That's going to look like a reversal baseline bounce almost. Let's pull up that weekly baseline. We are bouncing off of it right now. Okay, so we've got the narrative here also guys, for the weekly reversal short. Okay, let's say you think this movement is complete bananas. You think that the market, this is, like I said, that this is where the trap liquidity is, that we're going down from here to 25, 23,000. This is it, boys. Okay, you've got the narrative right here. Here's the weekly baseline. What do we got? This is a reversal baseline bounce. You take your weekly shorts. Let's say you're taking that trade. What do we want to do? Quadrigo. Let's bust this open, right? Use Quadrigo. That's our take profit and stop loss system. Where is it telling us we should be looking at right here? We're looking at 39,635, target 1, 33,395, target 2, 27,154. There it is. There it is right there. 27,154. Target 3. Stop loss of 55. Send it. It's one way to do it, right? That's one way to do it. Yeah, but the book said, I think, therefore I am. So technically it has to do what I say. Stop. Biden is speaking. Oh, shit. Exit all positions, man. Christian Zeldon says, I don't understand that with Litecoin, why don't developers make it to the metaverse servers within the security, because it uses graphics cards to secure the network like the internet, but 3.0 for streaming. You know, listen, there's a lot of things the Litecoin developers could do. And I'm not saying that Litecoin's dead. You know, it's still somewhat of a test net for Bitcoin, but not like it used to. And nowadays you have, you know, one of the projects I'm most bullish on, which is Blockstack. Blockstack is attempting to build all the things that you would associate with Ethereum on top of Bitcoin. So NFTs, the metaverse, dApps, decentralized exchanges. Blockstack is building all of that on top of Bitcoin as we speak. So yeah, incredibly supportive of Blockstack. It's a great project. You can, if you own Stack, you can stake your STX tokens essentially and earn Bitcoin. It's a fantastic project. Jude Nelson, great lead developer over there at the project. I interviewed him at Blockchain, San Francisco Blockchain Week. Guys, go check out that interview on the channel. Really good project. Okay. So the narrative is there for the weekly short here as well, guys. I'm not going to deny that. The narrative is there for the weekly short. Now, what could we see to confirm that? All right. Well, here's the thing. We got a couple conflicting signals here, though. We see weekly time transformation is crossing above the 0 line. All right. That is happening in combination with an attempted breakout, not only of the price range, but also of the 21 weekly exponential moving average. Basically, all the shorter term moving averages and the 55 weekly moving average as well. In combination with this bounce off the 100. Again, I would expect to see in the long run a more sizable bounce, 52, 59,000 at least. Okay. But this pullback's completely natural. So what I'd like to see, again, pull back to the weekly 55. Hold that as support. Good news comes in Monday. We start appreciating here in price. Either way, a couple ways you could tackle this area of the market. Let's talk about that weekly short here, for example, that baseline rejection. All right, let's say you establish a weekly short right here. Well, in all likelihood, that trade's going to work out well for you because price is going to retrace back down here to about $45,000, maybe $43,000. Okay. Sorry, about $43,000 down to the weekly 55. Okay, looks good. On the daily, we can see that as well. Here's the area. That's going to be a daily retrace to the daily baseline right down here at 43,000. All right, so great. Let's say you book some profits on that trade on the weekly, and then you see price start to bounce and turn around. All right, you dump the short, get back in your long. All right, I'm not closing my weekly long. I picked up my weekly long at 38,000. Okay, when we first came down and bounced off of that 100 right here, when we established this hammer candle right here. We bought on this candle right here. We sat through a little bit of a pullback, held the 100. We're pushing up. I'd like to hold that up to 52, 59. Easy. All right. All right. So that's the weekly, guys. Back on the daily, as we talked about yesterday, that time transformation sell signal did come to fruition. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it on the stream. No, sorry, we didn't talk about it in the stream. I posted it on Twitter. I posted it in the Discord, and we talked about it in the premium mentoring session yesterday. All right. All the members of the premium trading group, we get together every Wednesday. We do a private mentoring session. We talk about their struggles. We talk about new strategies. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff. All right. So we get that rejection here on the daily. All right. So we're coming down, rejected from the 200 simple moving average here on the daily. Tough nut to crack. What's a likely pullback target? We got the weekly baseline, 43,000. Daily baseline, 43,000. Daily 55 coming in at about 42,400. So we're looking at a potential movement down here of about 5 to 7%. Okay, not nothing, but not too much. Nothing to get super scared about. Okay, we see Wadatar explosion moving down. Minx is about to cross and confirm time transformation right here. All this stuff happening. We talked about the 6-hour time frame, right? Saw price moving, consolidating, doing nothing. And now what do we get right now? We get a breakdown candle breaking down out of this consolidation range. Look at the volume. There's decent volume on this. It's higher than the volume moving average. This is not an oversold volume spike. This is a breakout volume spike. All right, we can see that real clearly. Let's go down here to the 45-minute time frame. Okay, losing the 45-minute 200 simple moving average. We didn't even blink. Okay, didn't even blink. Let's get rid of the baseline here. And let's just look at these volume spikes here. Hold on. Okay, so what is price doing? Price is consolidating. Price is stuck in a range. Okay, price is stuck in this range. Okay, no huge volume spikes, right? No huge volume spikes. You get a volume spike here. Market moves up. But again, not able to break above the range. We get this long pin bar candle right here, a little bit of a volume spike. You see a long tail and a volume spike when price is at support. You buy that. Nice day trade right there. Price moved up. Good trade. Right here, a bit of buying pressure, not much. Double bottom. Price pushes up. Can't even break half of the range. You want to be watching for volume spikes and tails if you're looking for areas where the market's likely to turn around or continue, right? So we get all these little volume spikes, and then we get this, all right? Something very important. Big candle, right? Big body of the candle that closes below support on high volume. What does that mean? That is a breakout candle. That's exactly what you want to see when you are actually looking for price to break out or break down. Not a long tail. If you see a long price tail and a volume spike at or near support, price is probably moving up. If you see a volume spike with a long tail at resistance, price is likely moving down. If you see a long, that's the key difference here, guys. Couple things. Number one, big body. Big body. Number two, closing above or below support or resistance. Number three, volume. If you see those three things, that is not oversold volume. That is breakdown volume. Okay, then what do we see? We'll go down to the lower time frames and look at this here in a second. Price pulls back just a little bit, and then we get this next candle, big body candle, volume spike. Anybody want to tell me what that is? That's a continuation candle. All right. That's a continuation candle. I'm not seeing any signs of oversold volume spikes here, guys. I mean, it might, like, look, this little baby candle, again, big volume, a lot of selling occurring here, but I don't see the price tail I want to see. Maybe we'll see it down here. Okay. Again, big body, big volume. These are 15-minute bars. Big body, big volume, pullback, continuation. Okay, so let's say, all right, so yes, Justin, but look, isn't that a time transformation buy signal? It sure is. It sure is. Listen, you can take the little baby trade here and take this to the upside. I'm not mad at you, right? That's a potential strategy. Take this up and then get into your short on the first sign of weakness. We also talked about this. The market can bounce here. It's totally fine. But here's the thing. We had a range. We had a range. Okay. We have now moved out of the range. Price has moved out of the range. Price can come back to the range, but unless it gets back into the range, unless it gets reaccepted into the range, unless buyers and sellers are willing to reestablish that as the fair market price right now, then what's going to happen when if price moves back up here is it's likely going to get rejected. And if it gets rejected, then everybody who bought in this range and hasn't sold yet is going to say, all right, fuck that shit. Right? We're done. All right. So daily time frame makes this kind of clear as well. Yesterday, we had that warning, that sell signal from time transformation. Follow through today. Follow through today. All right. So okay, can the market reverse here and move back up? Absolutely, guys. These guys can take price wherever they want. It's what the market makers and what the big whales are going to do. But we got to talk in terms of probability. And so probabilistically, We're going to see this pullback happen, and then we want to see support either established at that weekly 55 down around 43, 44, and we take price back up higher, 52, 59. What I want to see. If we lose 43, 45, if we lose 43, if we break down and just completely invalidate this maneuver, then what that means is that we've gone back into this range. And I don't think that's really what anybody wants. I either want to see price move up here, or I want to see price move up here is what I want to do in the long run. I want to see price move up and then price move way down. That's what I want to see. Okay. All right. Thank you, my friend. Bit Panda over there on Twitch. Thank you, my friend. I actually got quite a few sound effects now. Let's see here. Let's talk about Kem Heru says itchy. Yeah, like my back on a cold Colorado day. Litecoin is like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Peanut butter, Bitcoin, and jelly, Ethereum. But 100 times more decentralized and can be more than 10x the utility of Ethereum. The people servers for metaverse, streaming DAO for real movies. Yeah, I mean, Litecoin's fast, man. I got nothing against Litecoin. Alex81SG saying the 55 weekly is simple moving average, top of the channel converging around 42.9K, but a close between the 21 weekly EMA 44.1K would probably mean this was a dead cat bounce, in my opinion. Boris F has bought the dip here. Hey, not mad at you, dude. I'm not mad at you. Go make some money, man. Not like Litecoin, the people servers by the community for the community. I really feel like I should be like holding my hand up while I'm reading some of this stuff about Litecoin, brother. Look, liquid. He says, isn't Litecoin just a Doge form? Fuck out of here. Liquidation candles, selling climax from K7 Jixer 1000. Isn't that second big red candle a liquidation on the longs established on that little bounce? Let's see here. Are you talking about, let's go back to the 45. You're talking about this candle right here? Let's go look at High Block Capital. Oh, no, you had to sign into High Block Capital nowadays. Let's see here. All right, I changed my mind. Let's not look at High Block Capital. I don't want to feel like adding old tools that were new tools. Cryptonomics, where can a person get the Quadriga and other indicators on TradingView? A couple ways. If you just go to indicators, you just type in cracking space, and we're gonna show up right here. Community script. So we've got a ton, right? The ones with little locks next to them are for premium members only. But Wada Atar, Ichimoku, Fisher Transform, the exponential moving averages indicator, those are all free. You can use them as much as you like. And honestly, the Fisher Transform, time transformation is based on Fisher Transform. Minx is based on Wave Trend Oscillator. So these are all just indicators that I've added my spin to and added the tools and strategies that I need to help me trade. That's how all these indicators came to be. Where is a good entry into block stacks for the long term? Okay, so listen, if we're talking about long term, then we're talking about investing. And if there's one thing I've learned about with investing in cryptocurrency, dollar cost averaging, baby. It's just the best way. Every month, I take a portion of my profits from my trading. So there's other things that I do for income as well. I trade. I have a few side hustles that I've been able to monetize. I received some money, obviously, from doing the YouTube thing here and the streaming thing. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit. And I put that money into my long-term investments, right? And when I'm making my long-term investments in cryptocurrency, I don't really care about the price. I'm not really trying to time the market. Trading for me is a way to earn active income, right? Trading is the way that I earn money month after month, and pay my bills, put food on the table, and establish my income capital. I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. And so I treat my trading like a business. Oh, I just wanted you to break down the charts. But listen, so then in that case, hold on a second. All right, so we're going to break down the chart of Blockstack. Let's find some good investment opportunities. Click my affiliate link. All right. Is that what everybody wanted to hear? Okay. Okay. Let's go look over on Coinbase. Okay. No, Coinbase is not going to give us enough data. KuCoin, are we going to get more data on Binance? Okay. This isn't a bad one. All right, weekly chart on Binance. I want to point out a few things. I'm not going to lie. I've never made money from my singing, but I would love to. All right.
I'd prefer to make money doing voiceovers for evil artificial intelligence units on shady Russian sitcoms.
Okay, so let's break down Blockstack. Woo, yes, okay. What a day. Anyway, so I think the Binance chart here is going to be best. So a couple things I just want to point out, and the first thing that I thought was interesting. So I went heavy in altcoins for trading purposes, right? I took the Aave. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I took Aave. We took Osmo, Cosmos, Juno, Phantom. Those are all weekly, bigger weekly positions that I established because of this weekly time transformation buy signal, right? That we had here on the weekly. Okay, so I want to put this in context. We were talking about Bitcoin, and we're talking about we had that bottom. We bounced off the 100, and it's looking like we're in a mini phase of markup right here, right? We're faltering out. We're going to be shorting for the next few days. It's looking like we're breaking down out of this range. But we're still expecting higher prices. I'm still expecting higher prices. So ultimately, what I want to see here is a nice, healthy retracement. I want to see price supported at the 55 weekly. I want to see price supported at the daily baseline. And then I want to see, we can use our momentum oscillators, time transformation, or MINX, crossing over near or at oversold levels to give us that re-entry signal, a continuation signal back into the market. Okay. We see the same thing here. And let's see, bottom feeder. Let's see where bottom feeder activated. Okay, so bottom feeder didn't grab the bottom here on Blockstack. Time transformation did. So we see time transformation buy signals here, and those are really important. When we see them on the weekly time frame, okay, there are certain things that I really like to watch for with time transformation, okay? Regular divergence, okay? Regular divergence on time transformation on the weekly or the daily is one of the best indicators I've ever used to find actual tops. Now, if we look at these sell signals, for example, look at these sell signals, right? It's often the case when we get a parabolic markup phase that we're going to get sell signals every time there's a red candle, and that's okay. What are those sell signals for? Premium members should know this, okay? You guys should know this if you're using these indicators and using these to make money. If you're in a parabolic markup phase, if you're in a long position, and you start seeing these sell signals, right? Do you exit your entire position? The answer is no, you do not. You use these signals as a reminder to take profit along the way. Because if you don't take profit on your cryptos along the way, okay, I mean, everybody like wants to become a billionaire by buying something and holding it for like a month or a year or 5 years, right? You want to hit the next 100x altcoin gem. I got a video on how to do that, by the way, if you guys want to know my strategy on finding 100x altcoin gems. But if you don't take profits along the way, then you really haven't accomplished anything. You're not going to be able to make your life better. You're not going to be able to reallocate your portfolio, and you're going to end up married to something that honestly, let me tell you this, guys. You know, I went through a couple of years of just being like a holder, right? You know, actually, I went through quite a few years, and I still am. Like, I still value my wealth in Bitcoin to a large degree, but I've also diversified a lot more out of Bitcoin. And I've been able to improve the personal quality of my life because of it. Okay. You know, if we're moving to a world where Bitcoin's going to be the new standard, Bitcoin's going to be the new money standard, then great. Okay. One Bitcoin's going to equal one Bitcoin. You pick it up along the way. But we're in this transition period where you can improve, you can create generational wealth for yourself, for your family. And the only way to do that is by rotating and understanding when to be in and when to be out. So you have to take profits along the way. So look, we take some profits here. Okay. We take some profits here. We take some profits here. We take some profits here. Okay. And what have we done? Right. Even if we were just taking 10%, right, off of our portfolio here, we've taken 40% off. We've sold at tops. And when price pulls back, it doesn't hurt us so much, right? And we can reestablish, we can move that money into something else that we think is going to have a higher growth appreciation. And Bob's your uncle. All right, so block stack here, weekly buy signal on time transformation. Okay, 100 weekly exponential moving average coming up to the resistance level here at the 55 weekly exponential moving average. It's okay for us to struggle here a little bit. Price pulls back. I'd like to see us hold at least 50%. So I'd like to see price hold at least $1.20 here on block stack and then push higher. This is all going to be dependent upon Bitcoin. If Bitcoin pulls back and then starts pushing higher, block stack's going to pull back and then start pushing higher. If Bitcoin completely rejects, we lose the 55, then we're going to lose the all this price appreciation here on all our altcoins. All right, so interesting points here for block stack as well. We've got a pretty nice range down here between about 80 cents, and we've got resistance up at about $3.31. That's the highest the block stack is traded. So if we're looking for big breakouts, they're going to occur up at about $3.30. But over the last, let's see here, over the last year, we're buying at discount prices, even at these price levels right here. Still buying at discount price levels. All right, right here. We're buying near the bottom of the range. We're buying near support. We've got price appreciation even from here to the top of the range of about 122%, potential 122% upside. All right. I think if we end up losing, I would be concerned if we end up losing basically this weekly open at 126, this one for sure, 121. Like I said, I want to see price hold these levels and then push higher. Because if we lose those levels, then likely we're going to make a lower low, and definitely don't want to lose this level right here because then we're going to lose this. I don't want to lose that because then we're moving back down to this range right here between 27 cents and 10 cents. All right, good accumulation level, good accumulation level. But as you guys know, when cryptos start tumbling down, they tend to stay tumbling down. So again, that's going to be crypto winner if that happens. That's going to be crypto winner if that happens. Cryptonomist asks, when I'm taking profit, am I selling 10% of my holdings, or am I taking 10% of unrealized profit at that time? So it depends on whether I'm in a trade. If I'm in a trade, right? So if I'm on the daily time frame or the 6-hour time frame or something like that, then when I'm taking profit, then I'm taking the entire percentage, right, of the holding. Okay, so if I establish a position. So let's go look at a position that I currently have open. So let's go look, not Binance. So I've got a short on the 6-hour time frame on BTC USDT right now. Okay. Let me pull up my. All right, here we go. Nothing huge. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Nothing huge. As you can't really see that, can you? Here, about an $11,500 short on Bitcoin here. I got about a $4,300 short on Cardano. All right, nothing major, nothing crazy. Okay, here we go. So when I go to sell that, I got my, as you guys saw, I had the take profits already established. This was all posted to the premium members earlier. When I go to sell that, I'm selling 50% of my position. Okay, so if I have, so right there, I had an $11.5 thousand position on BTC. So when I go to sell, I'm going to sell half of 11.5. All right, not my profit. I'm selling my position. Okay, that's for trade. All right, now when we're talking about my portfolio rebalancing, all right, was something that's in my investment portfolio, right, which I consider differently, right? I have completely different concepts and strategies for like my ledger portfolio and my funds that are on exchanges. All right, and the way that works for me, anyways, is I like to keep my, as long as I'm bullish on a project, if it's a long-term hold for me, then the way that I take profits is I like to rebalance. Okay, I don't like to let's say I want, so I'll give you one. Cosmos. I have 15% of my portfolio right now is Cosmos. Okay, so I don't want Cosmos to be significantly more or less than 15% of my portfolio. Okay. So the way that works is you look at the dollar value of your portfolio. All right, the dollar value of your portfolio. So let's say I have a $100,000 portfolio and I establish Cosmos as 15% of my portfolio. All right, so at that moment in time when I'm doing this initial balancing, I have Cosmos at 15%. So that the dollar amount of Cosmos that I have represents 15% of $100,000. All right, so I like to check my portfolio about every other week, sometimes a week if there's a lot of activity happening on. But when I see sell signals like that, right? So if I'm over on Cosmos, go to Cosmos, and I like to use the weekly. All right. So on Cosmos, if I see something like a time transformation sell signal on the weekly, right, I will go rebalance my portfolio, because probably what that means is that Cosmos is now dollar for dollar somewhere closer to like 18, 19, 20, maybe even larger, right? So if Cosmos moons, and all of a sudden Cosmos is actually responsible for 40% of the dollar value of my portfolio, then it's time to sell. All right, it's time to sell some Cosmos, bring that back down to 15%. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just to have preset ideas for what you want out of your portfolio. So let's say you're investing in blue chip cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Terra Luna, XRP, Cardano at this point, Tezos, Waves maybe. Yeah, you could put a lot, Polkadot, BNB, Algorand, Avalanche. You could put those all blue chips. One way you can say this is like, okay, I'm going to invest $1,000 into Avalanche. And when my position, if you want to be really conservative, you can say, okay, if the coin goes up 50%, I'm going to pull my principal and let the rest ride. That's a great way to do it. You could be a little bit more aggressive. You could say, okay, if this coin 2x's, then I'm going to pull my principal and let the rest ride. If the coin 3x's, I'm going to pull my principal and let the rest ride. Right? There's a lot of different ways to do it. So I tend to prefer the rebalancing, because as I have been investing in cryptocurrency for the last 5 years, I've actually been building my positions more and more, right? And so the main things that I've been doing is just rotating over the last 2 years has been completely different, right? With the advent of DeFi, with the advent of new stable coins, with the advent of all these decentralized applications and farming and staking and yielding, and oh my God, there's so many things we can do now. So typically what I'll now do is I'll rotate in and out of stable coins, right? So I'll rebalance my portfolio, I'll take profits off the table, and then I will reallocate into, and that means that I'm buying the dips, right? So for example, let's say Cosmos is pumped, right? And all of a sudden my 15% holding of Cosmos now dollar for dollar is actually accounting for 40% of my portfolio. So it's time to take profit off the table there, right? Bring Cosmos back down to 15%. And that new fund, I'm going to reallocate into things that are lagging, that are now taking up less percentage of my portfolio. So let's say I was also holding Waves, and Waves had dipped. Waves is now only 8% of my portfolio. It's time to buy some Waves so I can bring that back up. That's how you dollar cost average into your underperforming assets, and you profit off of the overperforming assets over a period of time. And the main keys here, guys, is just being consistent and disciplined. Consistent and disciplined. Okay. Not really seeing any volume here, guys. Not really seeing any volume here. Rob Taylor says, I would love your analysis on RLC USD or RLC BTC wild chart. Let's do Tether. Oh my God, look at that. What is that? A fat finger? Woo! That's a 19% 15-minute candle. Boy, howdy. Ow. All right, let's look at this iExec RLC chart. So something similar, guys, here. Weekly time transformation buy signal. Didn't really amount to too much, right? Price dipped. We got a second weekly time transformation buy signal. Very interesting. And then price, if you'd averaged in at those two, price pumped, you're actually up a little bit here. Probably about 19%. Okay. Listen, iExec here, pretty much just doing what the rest of the market's doing. We had, a big mega pump here in May of 2021, just with everything else. Market corrected. It's been correcting since then. We are at seemingly basically at support. We can see that these dips are getting smaller and smaller. We seem to be basing a little bit here. Okay. Got previous resistance, breakout, pullback, hold a support, push, support, support, support. Maybe a double bottom here. Maybe a double bottom. Still a range here. We're just rejecting from resistance. Okay. We're just rejecting from resistance here. So Bitcoin pulling back likely is going to have this pullback. Maybe we come down here to $1.8360. Then we're going to have to go down to like the daily. There we go. So there's those same levels on the daily. What do we see here? And this is just basic support and resistance trading, guys. We can use our momentum oscillators to great effect here. So let's look at Minx. All right. Where's Minx? Oversold. Cross is over. Price appreciates. Here we go. Minx turns over. Moves down. Crosses over. Moves up. Higher low. Pushes up. And now we got rejection again. Triple sell signal from time transformation. No divergence. Here's the sell signal from Minx coming in now on the current daily candle on iExec RLC. So I'm expecting RLC to follow the market along here. Pull back. Let's look at Quadriga. Where are our targets if we want to short this? We've got 255 as a stop loss it's recommending. $2.03 as our first target. $1.83 and $1.62 on the daily time frame for RLC. Pulse chain fits in that category, right? So Pulse chain's in my I like to think of my crypto investment portfolio in terms of buckets of risk, right? So I've got my blue chips. So that's my Bitcoin, my Ethereum. For me, that's Cosmos. For me, that's Luna. For me, that's BNB. I actually don't hold any BNB anymore, but it is what it is. Then I've got my medium risk plays. Okay. That's for me anyways. That's things like XRP. For me, that's Phantom. For me, that's Avalanche. For me, that's Polygon. for me, and I talked about this yesterday, I don't actually hold any Matic anymore, but those are the risk buckets for me. And then I've got my, so what I'm thinking about in terms of buckets of risk, right? My blue chips, I want to hold for a long time, like multiple years. My medium risk plays, I like to hold for anywhere from 6 months to a year. And I'm expecting them to 2x to 5x. My blue chips, I'm looking to 50% or 1x or 2x, right? My high risk coins, right? The smallest part of my portfolio, I'm looking for 10x's to 100x's, right? So I'm looking at, I'm looking at things like Osmo, Juno. That's currently what I'm in on the Cosmos ecosystem, right? So Osmosis is the largest decentralized exchange. I talked about Cow protocol, coincidence of once, I think is really good. Gnosis Safe is the largest liquidity locking protocol. It's not liquidity locking. Let me be fair. Gnosis makes multi-signature wallets here. Okay. So whether you guys understand it or not, Gnosis is really the backbone of decentralized finance right now, because Gnosis Safe is responsible for over $10 billion of protocol wallets, decentralized exchange wallets. They make multi-signature wallets and security, just ways to secure funds in the cryptocurrency world. And they're doing an airdrop of their token. So if you hold coincidence of once and you use the coincidences of the Cow ecosystem, the Cow protocol, you can get in for the Gnosis airdrop. And I'm really bullish on Gnosis. Boba, like the tea? You guys know about that boba tea. It's good. Yeah, so anyways, RLC here. I'm going to go ahead and post this one in the Discord here, guys. Give me a second here. And Stargate. I forgot to mention Stargate. Stargate's another one of my high risk plays, but very bullish on Stargate. So I do agree here with this chat. Alex81SG saying that interoperability will be the next big area of opportunity in crypto. Yep, that's why I'm very bullish on Cosmos with their IBC. I'm bullish on Stargate. Boris F. Thoughts on Luna here. Bought the retest of the previous highs at 101. Happy birthday, by the way. Thank you very much, my friend. So we're looking at Luna. Bought the retest at 101. Bought retest of previous high. Oh, bought retest previous one at 101. Okay, so yeah, so basically you just bought. That's fine. Let's go to the weekly here on Luna. All right. So Luna has been on an incredible run. And we see it pulling back with the rest of the market, but recently, basically since the end of the year, it's just been moving up. But we need to be careful here. Look at where Luna is here on the weekly time frame. Okay, we have come back up to previous resistance. All right. So this is where we stopped earlier, and look at where price is. It's not making significant strides. And in fact, if we're unable to close, so we've got a new high, all-time high on Luna, okay? But if we're unable to close this weekly above 101.50, meaning if we pull back now here with the rest of the market, then this is going to look just like this, right? This is Bitcoin on the weekly. High, pull back, high, pull back. So the principle here is you typically take profits at new all-time highs. And then you wait to see if we get a blue sky breakout. So as a Luna holder here, this looks like time to book some profits, guys. Book some profits. See if we can actually sustain this upwards momentum. Otherwise, let's wait for a pullback and just see what happens with Luna here. You know, I like Luna. I hold Luna, but we want to be careful here. That's what the weekly is saying here. What do we have anything from the indicators? Look at that falling volume. You see that too? Bring that back up. Dan the man, what's going on? Good to see you around as well. Will I be locking my gel for Arrakis spice upon launch? I fucking love Dune, man. I love Dune. But I wasn't aware of... I didn't even know I had gel. Do I? Did I get an airdrop? Can you post some information on what you're talking about in the Discord? I'd like to check it out. All right, Terra Luna. Yeah. So I'm of two minds on this. When we see this stair stepping, sometimes this leads to a breakout. I don't like the declining volume. Ideally, what we want is we need to see a big volume push here. We need a lot of volume to break through this level of resistance, guys. We need a lot of volume here. Otherwise, this is just going to fail. And when we see the rest of the market failing out here too, this makes me hesitant. Oh, yeah. Okay, I do know what you're talking about right now. No, but I'll look into it. Thank you. Excuse me. You know, I'm not going to lie, guys. I kind of look at this chart. I kind of want to short Luna. It's kind of like buy the rumor, sell the announcement of $1 billion Bitcoin treasury, right? Not overbought yet. Minx is kind of neutral. We do have that rising explosion level volume here. So let's go down to the daily. I didn't want to do that. Just want to get rid of these. Okay, all right. So when I look at this on the daily, it does look a little more hopeful. We do get a bit of a volume spike here, breaking up into that resistance, but in falling volume on the pullback, which is pretty classic principle. But overall, we do see falling volume. That's not really what we want. So we got to wait here. I wouldn't be a buyer on Luna here. I just wouldn't. And I might be wrong. I just wouldn't though. But I see the logic. I see the logic, the pullback to 101, the pullback to previous support, excuse me, pullback to previous resistance, and looking for that breakout or looking for that continuation. There's nothing wrong with the trade. It's just not my trade. I don't really have anything more to say about Luna right now, guys. Okay. So, overall summary. We got Bitcoin forming a little bit of a W pattern here on the 5-minute. We go going for a breakout. I do have my longer term position short open, but well, I'm gonna watch this closely over the next few minutes and actually might take this breakout long. I need to see the volume. I don't see any volume here, guys. I see no volume. Someone got that W. All right, so overall, guys, just a recap of what we talked about. Got a couple different options here for Bitcoin, guys. Monthly, not much to talk about. Fairly unimpressive monthly close. Kind of weak, honestly, in my opinion. The weekly closed above resistance. We're currently rejecting. The daily ran to the resistance of the 200 daily simple moving average. We're now pulling back. I would like to see this pullback continue. I'd like to see support around $42,000, $43,000 hold over the weekend. And then I'd like to have some good catalysts going into Monday to see price appreciate up to 52.59. It's going to take the rest of the altcoin market with it. So if we have a relatively uneventful sell-off for the next couple of days, and we're able to hold during the weekend, and Monday we come in and we start seeing some appreciation Monday, Tuesday, then I think we're going 52.59. Pump it. Either way, there is some logic here in the weekly short. Baseline resistance, okay? What's the macro narrative? What's the bigger narrative, guys? What's the bigger narrative of what's happening with Bitcoin? Okay, even if we do go to 52.59, remember, the correction down to the 55 weekly, the correction down to the 100 weekly, the correction down to the 200 weekly. We have reached what looks like a cycle high. And we need to flush out money and reach a low value area so we can be ready for the next run. Has that happened yet? Is this enough pain? Does it make sense for this to be the bottom? Guys, let me know in the comment section. That's the narrative. That's the question. All right. We're going to scoot out of here, guys. Let's go over here. Thank you guys so much for joining me again today on this March 31st, beautiful Thursday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I highly appreciate it. We will not be here for tomorrow's show. I am going to be up in the mountains skiing with my family to celebrate my birthday. So I'll be trying to post some pictures on Instagram. If you guys don't follow Kraken Crypto on Instagram, check us out. You can also follow us on Twitter. I post there pretty frequently as well. Join our free Discord if you guys have not already. That is the place to be. And if you guys want access to any of our indicators, our strategies, our learning material, our education, our mentoring sessions, our strategies to success, guys, check out everything that we offer on the website, Kraken Cryptocurrency. com. You read all about it in the Discord as well. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure to smash the like button. Helps us out with the algorithm and lets me know that we're doing a good job, and lets me know that I should keep coming back and producing this content for you guys. Subscribe if you guys have not already. If you're following us on Twitter, Twitch, anywhere over there, a follow, a sub, a retweet, a share, anything helps us out, guys. Helps us out. All right, so much love, much respect to everybody who stopped by and joined us for the stream today. I want you guys to be trading safely. Let me know what your strategies are. Let me know if I missed anything or got anything wrong, how I can do better in my analysis and help you guys out. Again, hop in the Discord. We'll keep the conversation going after the show is over. And I will see you guys back here on Monday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin, guys. Trade safely, enjoy your weekends, and remember to tip your waitresses. I'm out.